Hello, and we're back with another episode of The Offensive Line. Last week we answered the question of, are Mormons Christian? We answered that with a decisive no. Many people would put them in the same category though because they have some semblance of biblical Christianity. They refer to God the Father, Jesus Christ, the Bible, and many other words found in Christianity. But it's very clear to anyone who has spent even 5 minutes researching Mormonism and Christianity that they are very different. While the outside might appear similar, the inside is completely different.
It's the same with Catholicism as well, which we talked about in our video here. And there's one other popular religion that also looks like Christianity on the outside, but appearances can be deceiving, and in this case they actually are deceiving. Our question this week is, are Jehovah's Witnesses Christian? And therein lies the difficulty, right? See, even though Mormonism and Jehovah's Witness are two different religions, they have some consistencies that are true across the border for all cults.
Yeah, that's a good idea, Hanson. Before even answering this week's question, it might be a good idea to talk about some of the similarities to give you guys a basic understanding of cults in general. The first thing to know is that they are guilty of compartmentalization. What we mean by this is that most Jehovah's Witnesses are ignorant of clear contradictions in their religion, just like we mentioned before about Mormons in the previous video.
We didn't mention the exact contradiction, but according to Mormonism, the Book of Mormon is inspired by God, despite the fact that there have been almost 4,000 corrections made over the years. And for Jehovah's Witnesses, there have been numerous prophecies that never came true, such as when they maintained that Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob would return to Earth in the 1920s. They even bought a home for the patriarchs to live in. And when they predicted the Armageddon would happen in 1975.
Judging by the fact that we're still here in 2021, that didn't happen. Aside from compartmentalization, these cults have a pronounced intolerance for any opposing positions and are not above threats. The founders of Mormonism would implement new doctrines or a change of practices in the Mormon Church and claim that these were needed changes that God had specifically revealed to them. Charles T. Russell, the founder of Jehovah's Witnesses, claimed that studying the Bible apart from his inspired comments was to go into spiritual darkness.
But as for the specific question of if Jehovah's Witnesses are Christian, they are most definitely not. Just like Mormons, they deny the deity of Christ. To them, Christ is a created angel. And yet the Bible clearly teaches that Jesus Christ is the Son of God and is God himself. Hebrews 1:8 says, "But of the Son he says, your throne, O God, is forever and ever, and the righteous scepter is the scepter of his kingdom." But not only do they deny Christ's deity, but also his resurrection. And from 1 Corinthians 15, we know that the doctrine of the resurrection is of first importance to the Christian faith.
So just the fact that Jehovah's Witnesses don't believe in the resurrection is enough to say that they aren't Christian?
Exactly. And what is particularly damning is they don't believe that salvation is a free gift from God. Instead, Jehovah's Witnesses believe that salvation must be earned or merited. This is a clear contradiction with Ephesians 2:8-9, which says it is grace to be saved, not of our own works, but as a gift of God.
And one of the things a person must do to be saved is to become a member of the Jehovah's Witness organization. Similarly, Mormons believe that you have to be a member of the Mormon Church as well. Do you see the similar attempts at control? One of the most well-known teachings for Jehovah's Witnesses is about the 144,000 in Revelation 7. Regarding this section, the claim is that the 144,000 refer to a select group of Jehovah's Witnesses that will have eternal life in God's presence.
Well, they got the literal interpretation of 144,000 right. But if you actually look at that section, it actually describes the 144,000 as from every tribe of the sons of Israel. So that means if they take the number 144,000 as a literal number, then they would have to say that this number is from the tribes of Israel. They would say that only one part of this verse, though, is to be taken literally, which makes absolutely no sense. In fact, Jehovah's Witnesses have their own version of the Bible called the New World Translation, and it contains lots of deliberate changes that try to cover up these false teachings.
Like in John 1:1 that says in the Bible, "In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God." But in the New World Translation, it says that the Word was a God. And looking back at the Hebrews 1 verse, Instead of saying your throne, O God, is forever and ever, it'll say God is your throne forever and ever. There's a lot of things we covered in this video, but these are actually just a small number of reasons why not only is the Jehovah's Witness religion not Christian, they are a controlling cult.
If you have any additional questions about Jehovah's Witness, leave a comment down below. If you have any friends who are Jehovah's Witnesses, hopefully this video was helpful to you. Like and subscribe if you want to see more videos dealing with similar topics. Curious how we make our videos? Follow us on Facebook and Instagram to see. Even though Josh and I are the offensive line here, remember that all Christians are called to defend the truth in the same way. And that's why we make these videos.
It always happens. Yeah.
Preparing you for defense so that you can have the best offense. We'll see you next time.
It's the same thing every time.
I always forget our catchphrase. Many people would put them in the same category though because they have some semblance of biblical Christianity.
Alright, we do that. Do you pronounce it semblance? Isn't it pronounced semblance?
I just figure it's like resemblance without the re.
Oh, I've always heard it as semblance.
Semblance.
Semblance. She sounds pretty American.
No, she doesn't.
Yeah, she doesn't.
She sounds Croatian.